It's just all over the place and I have no idea why. Great. Alright guys, so right now we're getting ready to do a boost leak test and just make sure I could be ready for dyno day on Sunday, hopefully, if everything goes well. Actually I already did the boost leak test and I kind of fixed a couple spots, but I'm going to, this is a smoke machine. It pushes smoke out of the nozzle over here, which is then going into the beginning of my intake, which goes to the turbo, my intercooler, and then the rest of my intercooler piping. I capped it off at right before it goes into the intake manifold, and I'm just pushing smoke through it. So I'm gonna show you guys it pushing smoke through the system. I already fixed like multiple points where it was leaking. It was leaking from here, there, the top of this one. It's leaking a little bit at my blow-off valve. I'm probably gonna get a replacement one eventually. I guess it's not a huge deal. It's leaking just a bit out of like one of the sides where the diaphragm's letting go right there. And it's leaking at one spot before the turbo, which is the spot I'm not really worried about. Down here is where you can see the smoke before my, where is it? Right there. Right out of this coupler, right at this like little 45 bend. It's coming out a little bit out of that coupler right before the turbo. It was leaking here, but that seems to be good now.
That one of these could get my bolt out. Not one of these, but one of like the ones that have the actual like thing, like one of those. But and these like the swell.
But we're out here with slow roller. I tried it the first time. My shit was like vertical.
Yeah, low-key too. When I was recording my phone, I'd be like, fuck man, I wasn't even recording in the right fucking...
Exactly, and I'm like, oh, you gotta do that, you gotta do it again. But yeah, we're picking up some tools. Actually, this morning he came over, we were trying to test out my transmission, and we kind of did, like I put it in first and reverse, and the gears are good, but like my clutch needs to be adjusted to where it doesn't release at the top, because I was like my foot was almost off the clutch by the time the clutch was engaging. Bobby with the tool. And right now I'm trying to adjust the clutch pedal, because when I was trying to move the car at first, it was moving the car, but it wasn't engaging until the top of the clutch. So I'm gonna try to adjust it so there's like an inch of play before the clutch gets disengaged, and kind of play with it from there to see if I can get the clutch to a more centralized engagement and disengagement point. So that's what I'm doing right now. What up guys? We're prepping for the dyno today. I did a whole bunch already. I put my strut bar back on because that was literally, I felt like that was the last piece. I tightened up, actually put a second clamp on this coolant line back here. As you guys can see, there's 2 clamps. It was leaking a little bit during the idle session from yesterday, so I put a second clamp on it to hopefully that'll stop it from leaking. I put it pretty tight, so hopefully that holds. Also packed up my trunk with all the stuff I could possibly need there. Hopefully I won't have to use near none of it. So got all that stuff ready. I got some gas today from Speedway and tested it out. If it'll focus here, you guys can see it's a little bit above 85%, which is some good stuff for being out here. Usually you find like 70% and it's not like all that great, so that was a good gas station right there. Right now I'm about to take my IT, or what am I saying, my air idle control valve off and cleaning that out because my idle was a little bit like wavy. Last time we tried to idle the car, and like after you push on the gas it got really like so I'm gonna try to spray some brake clean in it, shake it up, let it dry, and hopefully that'll clean it out. Maybe that valve was, I don't know what's going on with it, but I think that's the only thing that could cause that. I also brought my my original one with me, the one that came off my old car, so I have the second one of that in case I have to just entirely replace it. I think that's pretty much all I did to get ready. I put the hood on, so that's on. Hey, gotta come pick this thing up and take it over there, so here we go. A bunch of S2Ks here. My car's here, rolled up over here because I don't know, it doesn't want to idle right now. Hopefully it's nothing major, but it's just not idling. It starts up, just won't hold it idle. But still waiting for a few people to finish up their session, so we're just sitting here right now. All right guys, so we're off the dyno right now because code 17 popped up, which is, I believe, the vehicle speed sensor, which I know why that was popping up, and the injectors. I got these clips here in my lap because I was ohming them out to make sure these adapters were good, and they seem good on the multimeter, but every time I wiggled them or like moved them around when the car was on, I guess they were like causing the injectors to sputter. And I hope it's just these, because I'm hoping it's not the harness, because I did get a new harness, and I don't think it's the injectors because they're brand new, so I don't think they're dirty. But I'm going to end up cutting the adapter ends off, just cutting them at the wire and soldering them right onto the harness. So hopefully that will fix my issue. It kind of sucks because that like ends my dyno session because I can't go on if the injectors are sputtering. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah.
Oh. And of course I always have issues with this car, and it kind of sucks. I've been diagnosing it since that day. I kind of been on a break from it, but at the same time kind of coming out here maybe for an hour or so and trying to figure out what's going on. But something's going on with my injectors, and they are all over the place. I kind of want to pull up the data log of, I don't have my laptop out here, but I will bring my laptop out here just to show you guys a data log of what is going on when my car starts dying. It started dying out of nowhere. I wasn't doing that before. It would idle, and it would idle good when I first started. but then it will, as it gets warm, it starts to idle more rough, and progressively it gets worse and worse and worse. And you can see my injector milliseconds on my data log go up and down, up and down, up and down, and along with my RPM and my injector, ignition degree. And I don't know what the heck's going on. So I ohmed out my ground, or the ground to injectors, the wire to the ECU, and they all have 0 resistance. I did a voltage test on all the injectors to make sure they're getting 12 volts. They're all getting 12 volts. I also, what else I do? I did a whole bunch of stuff. I'm trying to figure out, I went to the junkyard today. I got a new main or not a new one, but out of Integra, I took a main relay out of there. So I'm going to try that actually right now. I haven't tried that yet, but I don't know what's going on. It'll idle fine for the first maybe 2 minutes, and then it just starts getting really boggy, and you can hear it like misfiring. But my engine's dead in time, because when I was at the dyno, we put a timing light on it, and it's dead in time. It's like right on time. So I don't know what's going on here. There's bees over here, but yeah. I'm about to go get my laptop, and I'll show you guys the data log so you guys could see what I'm talking about, and maybe you guys could give me some more information, and maybe could update me on maybe what I should check or what the issue is. Maybe you guys had the same issue yourselves. All right, guys, here's the data log, and as you guys could see, it just progressively gets worse as time goes on. I don't know if I could zoom in here. If I could figure out how to zoom in. How do you zoom in? Oh, here we go. Alright, so you guys can see the injector milliseconds are all over the place. They're peaking, and the ignition degree is moving up and down with the AFRs and stuff, or not the AFRs, with the RPM, because the RPM is also fluctuating as well. But the fact that the injector milliseconds are just all wavy is pretty concerning. So that's why I was checking my injectors, but it's just all over the place, and I have no idea why. Great.